I've lost the two most important people in my entire life. It was like a wake-up call. Even when terrible, horrible things happen to you, you can win every day.
Please welcome Maxim Naumov.
You're going to the Olympics.
It's still crazy to hear that out loud,
I know, right?
I want to try to soak it in because what it took to get to that moment for me was just...
We are here along the banks of the Potomac, the scene of America's deadliest plane crash in nearly 24 years.
A year ago, both your parents were killed.
You can't really prep yourself for a moment like that. Not only were they my family, but again, they were my coaches.
How did you manage to keep going parallel with this incredible grief?
Something that worked really, really well for me was the life skills that you learn from being an athlete. Those all carry to whatever it is that you're pursuing later in your life. If you can control your mindset, then you can't lose. You just can't. You can become the person that you want to be. If you have 80% or 20%.
Wow. So Team USA, you leave for the Olympics tomorrow. Talk me through how you're feeling.
To be honest with you, it's not about the jumps. It's not about the spins. It's not about the technicality. It's about...
I know you're here for my conversation with the incredible Maxim Naumov, but before we begin, can you do me a quick favor? Just subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow and make sure you won't miss a single episode of our show. Now let's get to it. Maxim, it's so wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
You've been skating, figure skating, for a very, very long time.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like in some ways this is the beginning.
You're right. I mean, 19 years of training, before I even knew what training was. I think the first time I got on the ice, I was 3. My parents said I didn't really show too much interest, apparently, whatever that means, as a 3-year-old. And then they said, we'll try again at 5. We'll give him a year and he'll do his thing. Come back at 5 years old, and it was once a week, then twice a week, and so on and so forth until... the training schedule picked up and we started to go from there. But I think about those times so often now. I don't remember all of them, but those little bits and pieces, like core memories from that moment. So.
Do you feel like it was inevitable that you'd become a figure skater given that your parents were
I think so.
Olympians and coaches?
I think so. Yeah. I think a big part of, even just my family in general, we're huge on sports and just athletics. And, from both sides of the family, we value that so much. And the success that my parents had being 2-time Olympians, world champions, I loved when I can go to school and, we were talking about, what are your parents doing? What do your parents do? And I was like, my parents are Olympians. And I remember all the kids just looking around like, what? Are you serious? But it was true. It was so unique. It was so, even just based on that reaction, I knew how special it was, how much it means. And then obviously
the Winter Olympics come around.
I know.
And you're watching on TV.
If I remember the first Olympics we watched, it was together. We watched 2010. It was Vancouver. We watched that together. I remember watching the men's event and the commentary. I remember those are all memories that are burned into my mind. And I loved it. We watched it as a family. It was a bonding moment for us. But yeah, it was kind of inevitable from the start, I think.
I love that. When you think back to your junior career, obviously, when you're little, you're just skating around and having fun. At what point did you decide, wow, I really want to compete? And how did you decide between individual versus, because you could be a pair, you could skate in pairs, for example. So kind of how did you decide what track you wanted to go in?
Yeah, I think it was, so they used to have this thing called junior nationals. It wasn't nationals for the junior level. It was when you were a juvenile, very little level as you're just coming up.
Yeah.
And, we trained. And I think the training was really fun for me for most of, maybe from 5 to around 10 or 11 or 12. That training was really fun. I was learning things. My dad and I were playing games on the ice. Things were just really fun. And I think that we went to those nationals. I'll never forget. And I remember winning. It was in Omaha, in Nebraska. I think it was 2013. And it was in the juvenile level. So this is very, it's not the earliest level, but it's pretty much the beginning when you first start to learn double axels and triples. And, I remember we went there with not a lot of expectations. We did our job at home, and we had some local competitions and things like that. And I went to this nationals and I ended up winning. And I was like, it blew my mind.
That's crazy.
Honestly,
so how old were you exactly?
Well, if it's 2013, I must have been 12.
12, okay.
Yeah.
You're 24, okay. Yeah,
So I must have been 12 years old. And
wow.
I just, at that moment, like I don't think I've ever been happier in my life than that moment at 12, because for the first time, it opened my eyes to see, like, this is actually possible. I'm able to be this athlete. I can compete with all these guys, and I
can
do my job and get these scores. And I was kind of in shock. I was like, wow, this could really be something. And I think that's where I started to look at the sport a bit differently. I think after that, you go on to your intermediate level, novice, junior, senior, so forth. And, there's more challenges with every one of those. You learn new elements. You learn how to be disciplined more. It starts to...
your lifestyle off the ice.
Yeah, of course. You need to plan more things. You need to have something more concrete. You start doing more work on your choreography and different programs and all that. And I think it just it dawned on me then that this could be something that I can pursue. And I loved it. I love that feeling of giving it my all and then just ending up at the top. It was unreal. And I carried that passion throughout for years and years to come. I mean, still to this day.
At what age are you considered a senior?
So they don't do it quite by age. There's actually, it's all basically by skill. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So you could be quite young and competing with.
Absolutely.
It's all based on your technical merit.
Yeah. Alyssa Liu, another Olympian that's qualified for Team USA. She was the youngest national champion, I think like 13, 14, something like that.
Whoa.
So this is at the senior level.
Against 20-year-olds.
This is like at the senior level, and it's
Gosh, I didn't
it's all
realize
by skill. Yeah, I think I was around 20 years old when I became senior, because if you win in the junior level nationals, you can't compete in junior anymore. You have to go up, so you must go up. So I ended up winning in 2020.
So you won juniors. Okay.
Yeah, and then the following year after that, I was required to be senior, and I made my senior debut, and I actually got 5th, and it was like a big deal. And
wow,
same thing, no expectations, and in moments like that, you kind of see, okay, well, maybe there's something to this. Like, maybe I can actually do it. Because the doubt constantly, I mean, every athlete feels that way. You doubt yourself all the time. And I had a big problem with that. And I remember just being out there and thinking, man, these guys are so good. I see a quad over here. I see a quad over here. I see triple axel. Like, my eyes are just like this the entire session.
Yeah.
I remember even my dad, she's like, your eyes, you can't even look at me when you come to the boards. Like, you're just so riled up, and it's the nervousness, it's the pressure and all that. But yeah, I just remember that moment and finishing 5th. I was like, wow, this is my senior debut and I'm 5th. What else can I do?
Between kind of that moment, making seniors, to now, what do you feel like has evolved the most about your skating?
Oh man, there's a lot. My goal was to, every year in the beginning, we sat down and we said, what is it that we're going to focus on specifically this season? And let's write those down. So it could be, and it's in categories. You might have a technical goal. I want to learn this jump, or I want to start getting more efficient in this combination, or whatever the case is. Then there could be a component goal, an artistry goal. I want to skate to this music and I want to change my style. I've been skating to the same type of music. Let me switch it up. Let's explore. Let's do off-ice classes, things like that. And we kind of categorized all those things that we wanted to do in the beginning of the season, and we made steps on how we're going to reach those goals. Because you have your short term and then you have your long term. And the long term goal was that entire season, and we had to break it down. And we were really good at that. I remember my parents describing it the best. They said, we have to love and support you no matter what, but we also have to push you past your limits no matter what as a coach.
Yeah.
So that parent and coach was always a difficult thing for us, but we worked through it.
It's amazing.
And we became stronger because of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
In 2025, you came 3rd in the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, and that obviously sealed your position on the U.S. Olympic team.
Oh, that's still crazy to hear that out loud.
I know, right? Like, you're going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Literally, you leave tomorrow.
Literally tomorrow. Yes, that is correct.
Which is just wild. We have a clip. This is your free skate routine during the 2026 Figure Skating 2025 figure skating championships. So we're gonna watch this.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh man, I'm hearing all the moments in the music I'm supposed to hit.
oh, it's so beautiful.
That right there, adding that toe loop was what saved me actually.
Because that was a technical,
It's-
like highly technical.
I only realized that the day after, actually, when I was looking back.
Do you add that element, like
You sometimes you have to make changes within the program
to get scores?
because
that-
you realize that you might have missed the combo earlier.
Yeah.
And yeah, this step sequence I trained so much.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's man, I'm so gassed at this point. But at this competition specifically, I was not even tired. My body just took over. Yeah, I made sure to hold. It's so important to hold revs right here.
Wow.
1, 2,
Oh my gosh.
1.
And I mean, this makes me cry just watching, like, you get a
I couldn't-
standing ovation.
I couldn't even stand on my feet right here.
Oh, how did you feel moment?
This moment right here. First of all, crazy hair right there.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, no, this moment right here, like, you can't really prep yourself for a moment like that. You know, you finish performances and you finish competing at all these different events, but the events that have just this tremendous amount of pressure, like everything on the line, like essentially all of your 19 years of work just leading up to this. And you think about a 2-minute and 50-second program as your short, and then a 4-minute and 10-second program as your
So this performance was your ticket to the Olympics, essentially.
That was it. After the free, you know, I think there was 3 more men skating after me, and that was it. We would know the results, and yeah, it's a different type of atmosphere at nationals. It really is, and it's like that every year. I mean, especially the Olympic season, but nationals, there's just something about it. It's the culmination of all of your work from the beginning of the season in, I don't know, say June or July when you start choreographing to, you know, in January. It's that entire process.
This is like such a quick turnaround. Like,
It's-
you find out that you're going and you literally have
It's
like
incredibly quick.
a couple weeks
Yeah.
before you have to just...
That's why, again, it adds even more pressure to that.
Yeah.
Because everything is decided right then and there, you know, the next day. And it's just, you can't prep for those moments.
Yeah.
You really can't. You know, I finished that program. I remember just standing there and you train again so hard for these 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and it goes by, and then you start the music, and then you end it, and then you
Yeah.
come back to consciousness almost, it seems like. And you know, you hear like
Yeah.
the crowd, and you can feel it because it's a buzz. It's a buzz in the entire arena, and you just hear it, and there's really no words at that moment. I tried to look around and try to soak it in, because, you know, what it took to get to that moment for me was just, I don't know. I don't know how I was able to do that. I don't know how I was able to get through all that and finish and do that program. It was almost a state of shock for me at the end.
I mean, when you think about a year ago,
Yeah.
both your parents were killed in a plane crash.
Yeah.
Your heart and soul, really, of
Yeah.
skating. And, you know, at that point, you didn't know if you'd ever skate again. Just talk us through this last year. And I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Yeah, it's you know, a lot of people say like they had a roller coaster of a year, or they had the highest highs and the lowest lows, but you know, I've truly gone through that. I've lost the 2 most important people in my entire life. And it's even more than that, because not only were they my family, but again, they were my coaches. So from personal relationship, the most meaningful personal relationship that I had, to the most meaningful professional relationship that I had. And it was just a massive blow. It was a massive blow to everything. I really wasn't sure what to do. I mean, skating was kind of the last thing I was thinking about when it happened. I knew in that moment I had to do something. I had to. It's fight, flight, and freeze. There's three. People say fight and flight, but it's actually a freeze. And I had situations in my life before where I've been frozen. And I knew how difficult it was for me later when I was faced with other situations like that, how hard it was for me to not freeze again, because I knew that's what I did in the past. And I remember making a deal with myself. I said, whatever happens now, I have to go and I have to do, because this moment for me is such an important time for me to take action. Because if I didn't, I knew that for the rest of my life, I would know that in the moment of the most chaos, I froze. I had to put my feelings and my emotions to the side and just take on the responsibility of continuing to move forward. No matter what, no matter how I was feeling. I almost knew that intuitively. I had to.
That was your path.
That was
healing.
it. It was the only path. I didn't even see any other paths. I knew that I would forever in my life, this would be a pivotal moment for me. I would know if I ever get stressed or something happens or there's a tragedy or an accident or whatever, and when my life is flipped upside down, I can either count on myself that I'll be able to get through this, and then I can put all of the feelings and thoughts and emotions aside and continue to do my job.
Yeah.
Or I'll forever know that I froze in that moment. And when I thought of it like that, the answer was very clear.
Yeah.
And like I said, skating was, to be honest, not even remotely on my mind at that point.
Yeah.
I remember coming back from Washington and immediately the next day going into coach and picking up right where everything left off. My parents, they had a team of, we had 25, 30 kids, and I was assisting with privates, and it was my mom, it was my dad, it was myself, and I think 2 or 3 other coaches that were considered our team. And, me coming back, I had to take on the responsibility of not only one person, myself, but 2 others. And immediately the next day I got back and I got to work. I sat down, I did the schedule. My dad was very, very adamant that he needs to do the scheduling all the time. And he was reaching out to parents and all this stuff. And he did all of that. Most of his time was taken up by that. And we would always tell him, like you can do this a little bit different. You can do this better. And he's like, no, it has to be done this way. And I was like, okay. So then I got out a piece of paper. We met with the other coaches. And I said, okay, let's write down our schedule. And we had to write a new schedule down every day because we didn't know what was going to happen. So every single day I would work from 6 a.m. till late, like 8 p.m. And I took on that massive responsibility, and I didn't even think twice about it. And making those schedules every night and getting the job done, it was something to obviously keep me busy at that moment too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that could be, I know after my mom passed away, she passed away in August, and I went right into preseason essentially after that. I was coaching as well. And it just gave me purpose, and allowed me to think about other humans, besides myself. And,
Absolutely.
Did you have time to grieve? Just given all of your responsibilities, taking over coaching and the training, obviously you're in the Olympics, so you were skating probably a lot and preparing.
Yeah.
How did you manage all that in parallel with this incredible grief?
I was able to deal with it in my own way. And by no means at all is any of it done, or do I feel like I've really
It's a
really
forever process. Yeah.
It's because I was on go right from the beginning.
Yeah.
I tried to create moments of space and separation from my professional line of coaching and all that. I decided to try maybe once a week or I don't know, once every 2 weeks to have 30 minutes to an hour to just somehow, some way deal or acknowledge or think or process.
So smart.
There's one time I remember so vividly. And I didn't realize it, but I came home after one of those long work days, and I remember just getting into bed and getting ready for the next day. I have to finish my schedule. It's like 11 p.m. Like, all right, I got to get ready for tomorrow. And I remember just obviously before I go to bed, not the best thing, but I'm on my phone a little bit and scrolling. And I remember putting my phone down, and I wasn't quite ready for bed yet. It was like I needed to, lay down for a little bit, and immediately just everything just floods my mind, like millions of thoughts, like just bang, 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 bang. And I remember it happened instantly. It was, I put my phone down, I had just some peace and quiet for a second, and just like, zoom. Everything floods my mind, just out of control thoughts and all these things. And I'm just like, and I remember just grabbing my phone and going back on whatever I was scrolling on. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
It was like a wake up call. I was like, man, I have to address this somehow. I have to find some sort of pocket or some sort of outlet or something.
Yeah.
And that's when, I talked a lot with my sports psych people, and they have helped a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan and always a lifelong learner of psychology. I love it. And we really discussed like all of the things that can help. And that was one of those things. And I even just creating that small time, but having a specific time and space where you can think about it helped me tremendously, because I wasn't avoiding, but I also was, making space for it. Yeah. And that in and of itself has helped me so much through this entire process. But do I think that I started, my journey in the grieving process? I don't even think so.
Yeah.
I think once I have a little more space, I can really get into it, and I need to do it. And it's a lot of it's been calming for me too. Once some time has passed and I got a chance to think about it, it's not all negative. Some of it's positive, and it's just that acceptance.
How did the figure skating community come together? Because there's 64 people, 3 military operators were killed in that crash, and a big portion of the skating community. I'm just wondering kind of how everyone rallied around that.
I mean, the support from the skating community was, unlike anything I've ever seen, even, or heard.
So beautiful.
It's, our community is, it's pretty big, but it's very tight knit.
Yeah. Everyone knows each other.
Of course, yeah. Every competition, right? We run into the same people, and we grow up together and all this stuff. So, there's a lot of talks always about like skating and drama and all this stuff, but in reality, like, we're all friends, and we talk to each other, and we support each other, and so when something like this happens, we band together. And I felt that immediately once everything happened. I mean, the skating club of Boston alone, the day I came back, I remember just being embraced by just countless amounts of people. And it's just overwhelming with emotion. Like just I felt all these people also grieving in a way, and we all were going through the same process together. And I mean, not to mention the two other skaters, Spencer and Gina, that were also lost in that crash. I mean, I skated on the same sessions with them. I knew them, and my parents were coaching Spencer as well, I remember, and also being on the same session as him, the most bubbly, fun, witty kid, and just, and there you never see him again. Like, it's heartbreaking. I miss them all so very much, and everyone felt that. the whole community felt that. And when they did the Legacy on Ice show, that was the first thing of me kind of getting back out there again. And the story of me getting back out was because I'm still at the rink. I'm coaching every day, you know, and I'm still on the ice and I'm demonstrating a couple things and whatnot. But I'm not really doing anything.
Right.
And I remember Adam Blake, a longtime choreographer that I worked with, he said, "Hey, I have a surprise for you at the rink. You want to come and check it out?" And I'm like, "Adam, it's like 9 p.m. What's happening?" He's like, just come. Like, it's fine. Whatever. I got something for you." And I get to the rink and he goes, "All right, I got this for you, but we got to get on the ice first." I'm like, "On the ice first? What are you talking about?" He's like, yeah, it'll be fine. Just get on your skates." I'm like, "All right, when Adam says we go, like, let's do it." And so we get on the ice and we're just, I don't know, we spend what felt like hours, but in reality it was probably somewhere like, 45 minutes, but we were just skating and talking. And even just being out there, not as a lesson, not as me coaching somebody or my training, it was just two people talking and sharing some feelings or any type of emotion in that moment, and it was so calming. He skated around with me like we always do when we're getting ready and like making programs, and we just took laps around the rink, and we laughed, we joked, and then all of a sudden he's like, "All right, let's go do your step sequence." I'm like, "My step sequence? What do you mean my step sequence?" He's like, yeah, the one that we did this past year. I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, yeah, come on, you'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. And then he throws on the music, and like that, I just went.
Just your muscle memory took over.
Everything took over. I didn't have to think about what the steps were, what the moves were. My body just went.
Just came to you.
And he's like, "All right, we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again." And we did it. And just that emotional, like that breath of just like, wow, I can still do this. I still feel something with this. And I feel so much with this. This is like such a overflowing amount of emotion. And I was just smiling so hard that time. And we did it from the other programs and everything. And we just laughed and hugged. And then we got off the ice and he's like, "All right, so I got you a snowboard." And I remember he got me a snowboard because we were talking about, going snowboarding and skiing and, before the year prior. And he gave me this gift. And, it all just came together so organically. And, and I mean, I owe a lot to Adam. And it all kind of just picked up from there. We started to... Then I was like, okay, well, if I can do my step sequence, maybe I could do something else.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the show happens and I get information about it. And I'm like, I have to do this. I am doing this. There's not even a question.
And this was honoring the legacy of your parents.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I didn't, again, think twice about it in that moment. It was another one of those, like, just go.
Yeah.
And that program was the most emotional program I think I've ever done.
I can't imagine. And
it was to a song that they loved and something that I heard in the house, and I know how much they both loved it. And it's a song about St. Petersburg, where they're from, and it was a no-brainer when we started thinking about what to skate to. I was like, that's that one. The definition of skating your heart out. I literally did that.
Yeah.
I remember getting back on the ice there, and I wasn't thinking about the elements. I wasn't thinking about even the choreography that we just made. My body just took over.
Flow state.
It just completely took over. Mm. And of course, I mean, I broke down into tears at the end because it was just so much.
Is that the moment where you like, all right, I've got more in me?
After that performance, and I have never felt that way before. I've never felt, whether it was a show or a competition, being able to skate truly from your body, not thinking, almost disconnected. And it felt so right.
Yeah.
It felt so good. And I was like, if I can do this is what all the performers and athletes talk about. They say you just are in this flow state.
Yeah.
And I've had moments of, being able to stay focused, but this was a totally different experience.
What do you think that unlock was for you? Was it just the combination of just the release of emotions from the death of your parents? Like, was it just a combination?
I think, to be honest, again, I didn't worry about landing the jumps or doing the elements or just about falling or looking weird or whatever, like all these insecurities that we have especially in a sport that's all about performance and artistry, like you're very, especially my personality, very nitpicky, very perfectionist, all that. I wasn't worried about any of that. So I got to skate with truly no worries at all.
Wow.
And just experience it.
And that was literally the first time you had ever felt that?
It was the first time I felt something like that. It was yet another one of those moments that in the back of my mind, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's something else.
A quick message from our sponsor, Whoop. Most of us want to live a long life, but what matters more is living that life well with energy, clarity, and strength. The feature Health Span on Whoop gives you a read of how your body's actually aging based on how you're living, not just your chronological age. By tracking 9 key metrics like sleep consistency, strength training minutes, time and heart rate zones, and VO2 max, it calculates your Whoop age. Then each week it shows you how your behaviors are influencing your pace of aging. So you get clear feedback on how to slow it down. Over 85% of people over 65 are managing at least one chronic condition, but your daily behaviors can shift that trajectory. We built HealthSpan alongside the Buck Institute, a global leader in aging science. So if you're interested and want to try HealthSpan for yourself, head over to join.whoop.com/science to get 1 month free. That's join.whoop.com/science. Well, we have a clip for your parents.
Yes, please.
Performing in the 1994 Olympics.
Man, I watched this video so many times.
Oh, I really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched all of their performances, actually recently too. I love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, pairs are so fun to watch.
It's crazy.
Oh, they look so good together.
And the thing is, they look the exact same after they finished competing. Like 1-to-1.
I mean, they literally didn't age.
At all. At all. And I'm serious. I'm not the only one who says this is true.
No, I mean, when I saw pictures, I'm like, geez, they don't look really any different than when they competed.
It's absolutely true.
Oh.
I mean, just professionals, truly.
Yeah.
And this, again, every time I watch this, it's even more appreciation for how special this is. Like, how crazy is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is their
front
star lift.
Oh my gosh.
Man. And the ease of it all.
I know. It does look just so easy.
They were like masters at that, making things look so easy.
Gosh.
Nice death spiral at the end.
Oh,
sorry, that's a crazy ending.
That is
I love
insane.
that. I love that. They did it in some other competitions too. It's great.
Aww. They've obviously given you tons of advice over the years, right? Like coaching points and how to be professional, like all of those things. What like really stands out to you in terms of advice?
The funny thing is that the advice that my parents would give to me as parents in the house and the advice that they gave to me on the ice, they were all interchangeable because the life skills that you learn from being an athlete, the discipline, the hard work, those all carry to whatever it is that you're pursuing later in your life. Yeah. As I was growing up, I started to realize at each point what those lessons that they taught me in skating, how they apply to the real life. You got to get your homework done. Okay, you got to be disciplined. You got to set a timer. You got to do this.
Yeah.
You got to stay focused, And what they always said, I mean, our whole family slogan really is like, in Russian, it's "Надо бороться," which means like you need to fight, or you need to when things get difficult, you need to continue to move forward. And like I said, this was said on the ice. This was said at home.
That's just in your DNA.
It really is. Like that sense of resilience and just no obstacle can stop us. Like we have a goal that we need to get to. These are the steps to do it. And no matter what, we're going to finish these steps and we're going to get there. And we lived by that. We lived by that as a family. I mean, I could tell in their professional work, it was the same way. Giving everything to these children, coaching them, just continuing to, I mean, from the morning, like literally 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. Like I'm not kidding. Like
I mean,
the
that's
entire
legacy, right?
Yes.
Like, is that what got you inspired to coach?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, it's not about the jumps. It's not about the spin. It's not about the technicality. It's about just understanding what it is to work hard and understanding the discipline and understanding that there's your own personality in there too, and letting it flourish and really just enjoying that craft. It's there's moments, of course, that we had where everything was so, it has to be like this, it needs to be this way. But as I grow up, we discovered that, again, there's lots of input that both of us can give, and it makes us stronger. And that's what we continued to work on as I got older in the juniors and seniors. And our synergy was working. I knew exactly how my dad would be at competition. I knew exactly what my mom would say at home. I know all of these things, and they knew how I'd react to it. And we knew each other so well that it just worked. We
create so much stability.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, in moments of extreme stress and pressure, we latched onto each other. And then we weren't scared. We weren't afraid. We just faced all the challenges together. Whether I was nervous getting ready to go out, as nationals, or, something happening at home, we always just stuck together. And you're right, that's where the stability came from. And it reassured me that we can get through anything, and we would prove it time and time again. I mean, just they were role models, and they always led by example. That's the most beautiful thing about them, is that they didn't just say things and this is the way it should be, but they always did them that way. And I got to see it. How they were in their professional life, in their personal life, also with other opportunities. They always followed that same mentality. And I got to learn, not from them teaching me lessons like this is what you need to do, but just by watching them. Watching them live and make choices and make decisions and support me and support our family. It was the best learning I could have ever had. And I take a lot of those lessons and I take them into anything that I do. And that's where coaching as well, the coaching process, learning about how and what to say, how to demonstrate, how each child is different. You have to approach, every athlete a different way. All of those things, I learned by watching them and working with them. I also, through watching them and experiencing myself, I had more questions and they would give me more information. And it was just growth on both sides.
Do you imagine yourself coaching for a long time? Like, is that...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I am so passionate about coaching. I love working with kids. I mean, I think back to when I was young and that feeling of landing that first axel or hitting this new spin. Those are core memories that you remember for the rest of your life. And I think to be a part of that for somebody, it's such a privilege.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so rewarding. Again, it's not about the axle, and they'll come to find that out later, of course. But it's about making a plan, following the steps, doubting yourself, and then knowing you can overcome it, and then finally succeeding at the end.
Yeah.
And coaching that process from a very young age, I mean, people remember that for the rest of their lives.
Totally.
And I have so much respect for coaches. After becoming a coach, I learned even more so. Yeah. And I was like, man, and I started coaching, and I saw myself in these athletes. I was like, man, that's me. That's what I would do. So I was, okay, well, if I know that, let me try to approach it a different way.
Do you feel, I know when I when I was playing on the U.S. team, I was also coaching, and kind of in parallel. And when I really got into coaching, it made me such a better player. Do you find that any link there?
Yes.
That isn't it wild?
It is. It absolutely is.
It changes how you approach, I think, performance and just your craft.
I believe a lot of the times we have certain things that are absolutes.
Yeah.
You might think, okay, I'm getting on the ice or I'm getting ready and that's just how it is. Like I feel weird or this might happen. Something might be a problem. That's just how it is. That's how my body is. And then you start to coach and you start to realize you see yourself in these athletes. And it just gives you a whole new perspective on creating a new possibility or a new approach or a new angle. And then you start to think, wait, if I can do this for them, I can do this for me. And those absolutes, they start to become something to work on, something to overcome. And it's even more growth. And that's the biggest thing that I've seen, when I was coaching. And like I said, it also gave me so much more respect for the coaches, just how much time and effort and energy it takes to do that.
It's a lot of emotional energy too.
Absolutely.
I think that's folks don't recognize, I think, who have never coached, that it's not just like the physical and, the mental part of coaching, but there's a real emotional component
Absolutely.
as well.
I mean, these kids, we start with athletes that are as early as 4 years old. And you're not just a coach to them, you're a mentor. And you have to guide them. It's a big responsibility. And you have to guide them and you have to show them and teach them in the way that would be the best for their future. And again, it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of thinking.
Well, we're going to talk about your plan for the Olympics in a second. But before we do that, we have a little surprise for you.
A surprise? Okay. Roger that. Wait.
Yeah, these are all your little people.
Oh.
So cute.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look
Guys,
at them.
come on. That's so sweet.
Yeah, send you a little good luck message for before you leave.
I love all those guys so much. Seriously.
Isn't it just...
It's a second family, truly, all of them.
Yeah.
Man, that made my heart so happy.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Of course.
That's so sweet.
You leave for the Olympics tomorrow.
Yep.
Talk me through how you're feeling. What is your kind of approach?
I think...
Or are you just going to wing it?
Well, no. As much as how fun that sounds, of course.
Right?
The thing is that, when we start a season and we start our training process, we have to plan. So we have to plan things out. We have to see, okay, what kind of obstacles can come up, what things to be precautious about, what are our strengths, and we start to plan all that out very early.
Now, is the precaution like technical stuff, or is it like kind of really tactical, like we need to eat at this time, sleep at this time? Like
It's all of it.
It's all of it.
It's all of it. Throughout the years, I learn a new thing about me or something new, and or try to focus on like sleep or nutrition or warming up, getting my body ready, flexibility, agility, strength training, physical therapy, everything.
Yeah.
And it all kind of leads up to creating your own schedule and what you need to do and how you need to take care of your body and how you need to take care of your mind. I've done a lot of work this year on my mental training and on my physical training. So when it comes to the Olympics, we had a long-term goal of the Olympics from the very beginning of this season when we started, because you have to have those long-term goals, your vision.
Yeah.
So we were ready for this. After nationals coming back now, we have that plan that we created. We have those steps to follow and how to continue. Of course, it's a massive emotional experience of nationals and finding out, but your job continues.
Yeah.
You still have work to do. Making it to the Olympics is one thing. You have to perform. You have to go out there and do your job. My mindset from competition to competition is always, how can I do this to the best of my ability and give everything that I possibly have and leave nothing on the table? That is the same exact approach to the Olympic Games. You know, my dad always said, everything is practice until the Olympics. He would always say that.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to understand what he means because, of course, the stakes are higher and it's a much bigger deal. But like I said, the training and the preparation that we've done, it just continues. And we set out to do this when I started to come back. This was our goal. So we go there and we get it.
On the line, we talk to amazing guests each week about how they've been able to step over their own line and commit to a fresh start. Our sponsor, Shopify, wants to be your partner, the one that helps you take that first step. Now, I want to tell you about their tools because they really have everything you could ever need to sell online and in person. And the one thing that I think that you will absolutely love are their customizable store templates. They have hundreds to pick from, which you can match to your own branding. Then there's their AI tools, which help you write product descriptions or edit your product photos. And if you need help with marketing, Shopify can create email or social campaigns that reach your customers. Shopify is designed to grow with you, whether that's expanding into new markets or handling more orders. It lets you do it all from the same dashboard. So in 2026, stop waiting. It's time to step over the line and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/Kristen. That's shopify.com/Kristen. Tell me about your short program and your free skate.
Yeah. This year's selection is truly special to me. I mean, the short program, there's moments where you are in the choreography process where you're not quite sure what specifically it is that you're looking for. It's almost like the music finds you. You're not searching for a music piece that you connect with. The music is searching for you. This is exactly what happened in the short. I had a chance to work with Benoit. He's a skating choreographer. And I worked with him in the summertime. And I spent like 5 weeks with him in the summer, away from home. And we got a chance to work together on these programs. And usually we have a meeting and we talk with coaches and we say, okay, I bring something to the table, you bring something to the table. We all listen and we figure it out. We see what's good, what we resonate with, you know. I have the final say, of course, because I'm the athlete. I get to skate to it, and it's usually something that I am feeling emotionally connected to. And so this year I was like, man, I don't know. I'm really like a bit lost at this moment. I don't quite know. Usually I have like this idea and this idea, but I don't know. And he goes, okay, let me play you a few pieces. And we start playing some pieces. And I remember the first one, I was like, I'm not really feeling this one. The second one, immediately, you hear it on the loudspeaker. And there's something in your mind. I'm sure dancers feel the same way, but you can see yourself moving to that piece immediately almost. Your mind just starts going. And that's exactly what happened. He played the Chopin piece, Nocturne number 20, and I immediately was like, this is it. This is exactly it. It doesn't have any lyrics. I usually have been skating to music with lyrics these past few seasons, and there was something about it that's so just deeply emotional in those keynotes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. This is absolutely it. Wow. And it's an emotional piece. It has so much content just packed into that one piece. So many dimensions, so many angles and feelings and emotions with literally one instrument. Like, that's crazy. Well, two with the violin. But I knew right away that this was going to be the one. And in the free skate, it was the same process. We did the short program, and the free, I also kind of came up empty-handed. I was like, I don't know. And we spent an entire session, I think it was like 50 minutes, just listening through different songs and tracks and being like...
Because that's so important, because you have to listen to that thing, like that song, a gazillion times.
You got to listen to it the entire season. You can't go anywhere from it.
Over and over and over again,
So it better be something you like, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, a music you might hear something in your headphones or on an iPhone speaker, but when you plug it into the big speakers, it's a totally different sound.
That's such a good point. Yeah.
And people don't actually realize that because you might be like, man, this is a great song. I love this. And then you play it on the ice and you're like, man, this sucks. And then but then the opposite can happen too. Like you hear it on the phone, like, I don't really like it. And then it fills up the entire arena. You're like, wow. So we went through that process as well. A couple songs we played, I'm like, I don't really like how it sounds. I don't like how it feels. I can't connect to it. And then when we got off the ice, Benoit says, hey, there's one more piece, like one more thing. And he plays In This Shirt by the Irrepressibles. And man, it's like the music chooses you.
Wow.
I was like, I put on my headphones, I go upstairs, and I listen to it over and over and over again.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is it. This is it.
So this is your free skate.
This is my free skate, yeah.
Wow.
The short program is an emotional remembrance piece about my family and about just what I've been going through this entire year. And the free is like a breakthrough. It's a kind of shedding that weight and
I can like feel it. So, like
really,
just
like
when you're talking
exploding
about,
of just like passion and emotion and a new beginning. That's the feeling of this program for me, and I knew it right away. And once you know that, the choreography just flows. Gosh. It just flows, and it's collaborative and it's creative, and we finished both of those programs so quickly because we're so in sync. And then I started practicing them, and I became even more connected and invested. Every single week and month that I would train it, and it just became this wonderful piece of choreography that I'm so proud of.
I cannot wait to see you in action.
Yeah, I'm super stoked.
So Team USA, you have just obviously an exceptional group of teammates.
Oh yeah,
who are going to be competing alongside you. One of your teammates, Ilia,
yeah.
And you've competed against each other for years.
Yes.
And I feel like you really push each other.
For sure.
In all the best ways.
Ilia, Andrew, and I, the three people selected for the men's team, we are actually the same team from 2020 Junior Worlds. So we've been competing together and traveling together as the three spots since 2020.
Chemistry, and
yeah.
That must be important.
It's awesome. I love it. Because we see how we grow. Every time we see each other at competition, we're seeing, man, like, you got this and you got this, and I love your programs this year, and what are you doing? And again, when you work and compete with people like that, of that high caliber, it motivates you and pushes you to be even better than you thought that you could be. And those guys, man, they do that really well.
Quadruple axel?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we need to play this clip.
Yeah.
I think this is your teammate, Ilia.
Man, I don't know how he does it.
I mean, I guess, like, I'd love, as we're playing it, would love to know actually how difficult. I mean, it looks, let me just set it, like, everything looks really hard to me. So, I mean, this looks like superhuman.
Man, Ilia is a special kind of athlete. I look up to him.
This is the first time.
Yeah, this is actually at the Skating Club Boston. This is Skate America. I was there. I was in the building. I was top left corner over here.
Is this the first time he's ever attempted it in competition?
I believe there was a competition before this that he tried it for the first time, but this one, man.
He lands.
Off the bracket. Yeah. Bang. Oh. It's okay.
I mean,
he's a skater.
Like, how hard is that?
It's so difficult. Okay. You're talking about 4.5 rotations, taking off on the left foot, doing 4.5 rotations under a second. So less than a second. You're in the air and you have to rotate 4.5 times, land on one leg going backwards on a piece of metal that's this, probably like this thick.
It's like hard. It's just really hard for me. Like, when I see it, like, I feel like it's like AI.
Yeah.
Does it feel?
I mean, these days you don't even know.
I know. Seriously, I'm like, is that real? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just wild.
He's a special kind.
Do you think that technical moves like that being just the norm in the near future, or is he just really uniquely athletic in a way that he can pull that off?
I mean, he most definitely is the most athletic skater I've ever seen personally, for sure, by far.
Wow.
And it's almost like every year there's someone doing something new. Every 4 years, when there's an Olympic cycle after that, the new generation, right? Because every Olympic cycle we consider almost like new gen, like the younger kids coming up, right? Some of the veterans, phasing out and retiring. It's seeing what these younger kids are doing right now and how they're following in the footsteps of Ilia, just doing multiple quads.
Because once you see it, you're like, oh, well, this is possible.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, he's a skater. Because for me personally, when you look kind of from the side and you see that in real life, like on practice, and you're like, wow, that's actually real. And, someone like him, again, motivates all of us to be better.
Yeah.
Because it's inspirational.
Totally.
And we know that it is possible. But some of the younger kids that are coming up right now, they're following in his footsteps.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if we see another one of those quad axles in the near future, because
it's kind of like the 4-minute mile. Once
Absolutely.
one person breaks it, it's like now
people know that it's a reality and it's possible.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's been an inspiration to me, and I think everyone in the skating community.
I love it. When you think about your plans after the games, what does that look like?
After the Olympic Games, there is also the World Championships. The World Championships happen every year. But obviously with the Olympics, it happens actually before Worlds. People will still have to continue to compete and represent the USA at Worlds.
Yeah.
There's also a possibility of that happening for me as well. So after the Olympics, this happens in March. The World Championships will be in Prague. And it's yet another opportunity to compete. And that'll all be TBD, post-games. So we will see. But, there's so many things that I want to do after the games as well. I've gotten to know myself a lot more and understand what it is that I want to contribute, how I want to help. A big thing that I'm doing right now is we started like a GoFundMe campaign for mental health, being like an advocate for mental health. I mean, I know that term gets thrown around a lot, and I think it's so important that people really pay attention to, especially for the younger athletes, building a strong foundation in technical elements and things like that is very important. But I would argue it's even more important to build a strong mental foundation.
Yeah.
Because, I grew up always hearing, it's 80% mental and 20% physical. And I was like, yeah, whatever. No, it's not. It is. It is. And the older that you get, you start to realize that. And I make it a big point of mine to try to incorporate that into all of my lessons with athletes. And I want to do that on a bigger scale. Yeah. And I think that it's crucial, especially in times like this where it's social media and there's a lot of ways to use that for good, but it's also sometimes can be tricky. And I think that there's a huge opportunity to just be a voice for mental health and just creating something where it could be a bigger part of all of these athletes' lives. Yeah. We're working diligently on that, and I want to pursue that after the games.
I love that.
For sure, and grow that.
And where can people find that?
People on my website, maximnaumov.com. Yeah, we have a donate button, and it says all that information in there. And man, I really want people to take a look and see what it's all about, because like I said, I'm so passionate, not only about coaching kids, but also mentoring them and really helping them, because I know how important mental health is, and it's different for everybody. And I want everyone to feel comfortable and confident and powerful and ready to be the best version of themselves that they can be. Yeah. But also, to be honest with you, I need a bit of a rest also after this season. I can't wait to just relax for a little bit and exhale, like you said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely after the games and Worlds, I think I can just take a second and breathe and figure out, how to approach this year.
When there's lots of folks listening who obviously are going to be so inspired by your resilience and courage, as you think about folks out there who are trying to keep going, what would be your advice for them?
Something that worked really, really well for me is you might have a version of yourself that you know to be true. You are not always that version forever. You are in control, and you can live and make decisions however it is that you want to make them. People say, I'm going to, once I get into a good position, then I can start working on this. Or once I figure out this problem, then I can finally attack what I've been wanting to for so long. I need to be a little bit more mature, mentally mature to make this decision, and then things will be okay. The actual mental maturity to just start going into that direction is exactly what's going to help you become the person that you want to be. It doesn't have to be anything big. Just something that gets you outside of your comfort zone, something that if you can wake up and go to bed every day and say, today I did something that was outside of my comfort zone that pushes me to be the person that I want to become, that's a win. And you can win every day. You can. Even when terrible, horrible things happen to you, you can still have something that you say, no, today I'm going to do something that makes me become the person I want to be. I think looking at yourself in 5 years or 10 years is almost a stranger because of all of the things that you were able to do, and you can become the person that you want to be. That's why tools like visualization, meditation are so important. It reinforces that, and you are in control of that. People often think there's so many things I'm not in control of, but there's also so many things that you are in control of, way more than you think. And, if you can control your mindset and your emotions and having a goal to strive towards every single day, then you can't lose. You just can't. You finish the day always on a win, no matter how big or small that win is. And it's important for us to have a goal. Sometimes we're so aimless, I've had that feeling too, just living aimlessly, and you have to have a goal. And if you can take little steps towards that every day, it'll change your whole life. And I try to live by that myself every day.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Well, that was a beautiful message. And I know that will resonate with so many folks. So appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
It's been so wonderful learning from you.
It's been a pleasure.
And hearing about your journey. And we wish you just the very best. And I can promise you we will be cheering so hard.
Let's go, TBS.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's so timely with the Olympics, and Max's story is just very unique. It's heartbreaking and beautiful, and triumphant, in so many ways to be able to, go from just not being sure if he'd ever skate again after losing both his parents to making the Olympic team is incredible. It's an incredible story of just how resilient we can be as humans. And I think too, acknowledging that, it's the grieving process is ongoing. I think just to kind of hear from him how he's been able to still get through his day, but also, carve out time to be able to be intentional about his grief, I think will help people who might be in a similar situation. I think the idea of carving out a specific period of time in your day to attend to that difficult thing in your life is a really powerful strategy. You know, oftentimes the things that we need to be thinking about are the things that we ignore. And I think sitting with those difficult thoughts actually help us process them and help us overcome them. So I think that strategy really helps anyone who's trying to move through anything difficult. That can help accelerate that healing process.